guys, good evening. I want you to bear with me a little bit here. I got a little bit of a sinus infection or something. So, looking at something today, saying the NFAC, if you're not familiar, that was the black paramilitary group marching around during George Floyd. They went to different events. They ended up going to Stone Mountain, Georgia, and challenging the Klan. They went and, you don't know, Armory, the brother, Ahmaud Arbery, the brother was murdered in Georgia, and they tried to cover it up. They went out there. Now, back then I was looking at the world to the point where we wanted a white man. Oh, it is weird, and that basically black people aren't supposed to. That's really where that kind of thinking goes, is that only white people are supposed to do that. But in my mind, if we're really going on this path of Donald Trump trying to put American citizens out of the country and put them in slave camps, dungeon camps in other countries, we've crossed the line. I don't give these white folks no credit. I don't give these white men no credit at all. I say that often. I don't think there's any low Trump can stoop to. I don't think there's any disgraceful thing he can do at this point. I think they can find white power on the table in the White Oval Office, and I think these white folks would still find a way to do it. I don't know how they would. And at some point, when Trump breaks the economy, when a recession, they'll blame it on Biden, or they'll blame it on Obama, or they'll blame it on I don't know how that'll happen, but they will. They will. No doubt about it. Because this is a cult. And it's like a man lying. You have to keep lying. You know, it's cult thinking. They can't stop. You know, at the time, like I said, the whole thing of like, oh, the black militia, black folks. I'm not saying white people said this, but that was the vibe I got of like, they're weird. They're being weird. And now I understand with Trump, these are devils. These are soulless devils. And they want to go to war with the whole world. They want to colonize other white people now. And they want to drag us along into some launch for empire. And, you know, I understand more than ever what white people think. It doesn't matter, because you're dealing with a depraved mind. And out of that depraved mind, you understand, like the teacher, law enforcement teachers deal with mentally ill people. You have to remember, a reasonable conversation may not take place. So that's the difference between me now, 25, 2020, is that I think I used to seek acceptance, I used to seek approval. I don't care anymore. I don't. I live in a country that shows me daily just how little I matter. I live in a country that wants to erase the legacy of Jackie Robinson and black men that have won the Medal of Honor, and I live in a country that doesn't think anything of me. So that means J.D. Vance said, I am the enemy within, and I want to start every day getting a little better at that, at being their enemy every day, because you are the enemy of good. You've already proven that. That's already proven. I ain't even got to go around with that. You know, you are the enemy of good. So, I've thought about joining NFAC. I've thought about it. You know, I know you have to be careful with these groups. It'd be hard because I drive a truck. I'm not in the physical fitness I'd like to be. I should be. And I know that I'm not. I mean, they were walking around 2020 with combat gear on. It was like 100 degrees hot certain times that year. And I remember just thinking, like, man, like, I didn't get it then. I get it now. They were standing for us. You know, when they went out there to Georgia, asking all them questions and messing with them old white folks out in the country, I want you to understand something. That wasn't a case of, like, white people say, like, oh, stay out of the police way, justice will be done. What happened in Ahmaud Arbery's case, that was not justice. And I think the only reason that came out the way it did was that guy keep putting it on camera of them running up on him, putting a gun on him wrestling with the gun, and him getting shot. shot. B, statements he made about, that nigga, you call me when you see him, talking to people in the area. That came out. And C, the statements on the young man that shot him, the son, on his Facebook. I think those things are what that was the icing on the cake. That was the crux of the case. Yeah, the gun and all that stuff too. But a lot of that can be covered up. And it's the South. And the more you read about it, you read about the DA lady telling the police not to arrest the guy, that he had worked for her. And then, I think her replacement came in and did something. I mean, that could have easily been a case that they got away with. That was not justice. And I understand in an unjust system, when injustice becomes law, revolution becomes duty. I don't care. I have no interest in being respected or anything by people that think so little of me. I have no interest whatsoever in playing that game. People who do so much to show me I don't mean nothing. Well, that's cool. I'm just glad that we're not pretending any of this stuff was about lower taxes or small government, because that was always bullshit. Yeah, that was always bullshit. They care about small government, small low taxes when it comes to stuff I care about. And I'm this whole salt of the earth, land on the hill, all that bullshit. They never cared about that shit. And I'm just glad white America ain't even pretending no more. So now the whole world understands these are disgraceful, diabolical, depraved people with depraved heart. This is a bully country. This is a country of bullies, and this is a predatory administration. No matter what comes next, that's what it is. For me, as I said, I would love to join that organization. I don't know how I'd go along with. Then I was reading something about the dude that was the leader was like a Trumper or whatever. I don't know. I just know that the things they said then, I've had a lot of time to run around in my head and to evaluate, reevaluate, and in the light of a country that just hates us so much and just so blatantly shows how much they hate us. I've got to pick. I've already picked the side, but I know for myself, I'm entrenched, and I've got to. I've said it before. Trump made me close to a lot of people because I understand the devil I face is so much more dangerous and predatory and vicious than the differences that we may have. This is a dangerous moment. And I worry that it's being normalized. I worry, as crazy as that sounds, I worry it becomes Trump's stuff normalized. Not just for me, as I said, I just more research into them. It's hard. Because I wanted to get better with the rifle, and I really haven't. And I don't have any AR bullets. I haven't been saving those up. I've been just focusing on the Glock and putting the sight on it and messing with my shotgun. So I really haven't been getting better with the rifle. I've got a vest and I have a place for that. I've done things for the pistol. I want to get a class. I want to get a night shoot in. I want to do a whole lot of things that I haven't been able to do. But if they're out here marching, if they're out here active again, I will do all that I can to join hands with those people. Because I know they were out here for us. They were out here for Ahmaud Arbery's memory, and they were about seeking justice for black people. And that matters. And it's just what white folks don't realize in a country like this. When you do so much when you do so much to make the system unfair and unjust, you radicalize people. It's probably how they say Timothy McVeigh got after Waco. I don't know. That's what they say. They're like he got. I don't know about that. I don't really care. I don't care anything about that kind of stuff. But it's probably something like that. That you do things that are just so unfair and unjust. And you do it in a blatant way that, okay, people, and now you got the pictures of the El Salvadorian prison, like his body's piled up outside and blood, and I'm of a mind that guy's probably dead. This is how depraved the Caucasian is. Nobody even cares. He sent a man over there who wasn't supposed to be sent over there. Protected status. So Trump broke the law to put him over there over a tattoo. He never had his day in court. He never had his due process. He threw him over in a dungeon where he might be dead. He may have made his untimely end. And these white people out here will say, well, too bad. No big deal. We just killed an innocent man. No big deal. So I understand in this Trump, I'm living and interacting with a depraved population. Depraved in their mind and depraved in their heart. And that being the case, I gotta do all I can to protect myself, my family, my friends, and those I care about.